Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piroworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
It's rain and tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's rain and tacos. It's rain and tacos. Out in the street, tacos. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's rain and tacos. Yum, 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 yum. It's like a dream. Yum, 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 yum. Bring your sour cream.
Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. It is such a fun day. Taco Tuesday. Having a good time. How we doing, sir?
Good, good. I had me some Venezuelan tacos today.
Wow, that must have been well, kind of liberating.
Well, they were free.
Okay, that is funny. They were funny. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like that. I do not know what kind of tacos we're going to be having this evening. My daughter, I guess, is going to be surprising me. But now I've got my granddaughter into the whole thing of, yeah, it's Taco Tuesday. What kind of tacos are we having?
There you go. There you go. Very
Train
nice.
them up. Train up a child in the way they should go.
There you go. Very nice.
Good stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about J6. Are you having an interesting anniversary of J6?
You mean the anniversary to celebrate the tourist event? Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Well, I don't know that I would call it the tourist event, but definitely, as we will talk about during the program, it is definitely being reported differently depending on who you are. And well, the left has their version, the right has their version, and anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Did I see a different video, Craig? The ones where they were holding the doors open and people were taking pictures and posing with cops?
Well, there were the videos of people fighting with police officers and rushing through barricades and climbing up buildings and breaking out windows. There was that.
Oh, in any party, there's always a couple of bad people. We know that. Tell me you've been to. Listen, you haven't been to a party with your relatives and not had one relative go bad. I mean, every party's got a.
Generally, we avoid fighting with cops. We try. All right, as a general rule, and if you're breaking windows, yeah, you've gone too far.
That might just be part of the feats of strength.
Parts of the feats of strength. Okay, so on Festivus it's okay, but other than that, any other time, it's bad. How about
airing of grievances? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they pretty much that wasn't airing of grievances, wasn't it?
They brought their own aluminum poles.
They brought their own aluminum poles. Yes, they did. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that and so much more in today's program. But before we do, we start off like we always start off, and that is with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say hi to our good friends over at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get yourself AR barrels, rifle caliber, pistol caliber, whatever you desire. They've got them available for you at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in, where are we going? We're going to go with, let's go Hog Holsters. You want the best in concealed tactical holsters on the market, get on over to Hog Holsters. That's HAWGholsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. If you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, EMS, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com where you get everything but the gun.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor, do them a favor, do yourselves a favor. Visit their websites. All you have to do is follow the links in the description to this program. Go there, spend some money with them. Make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching the program live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, then guess what? You're watching it live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear what you have to say. And by the way, you don't have to agree with us. We would love for you to disagree with us, because that opens up the door for us to mock you.
Oh, wow. Was that a mockingbird?
Another mockingbird? Another mockingbird?
And the mocking, by the way, is not because we don't love you, not because we don't care, not because we want to be mean, but largely because it's entertaining, mostly to us.
That's it. That's what really matters.
That is definitely what really matters. Looks like we got some folks who've tuned in like really, really early. We got American Crossfires tuned in saying good afternoon. We've also got Julia Collins, 777's J6 updates. 10 years in prison. Yeah, they got some folks here. Listing of some folks here who are in prison, who are former who are members, who are former J6ers. As you said, there were some bad folks in the bunch, because there's bad folks in just about every bunch. But Julia Collins just loves, she loves just trying to well, let's just say she loves trying to hate on the show, or not on us, just on our I guess people we like.
You mean like you?
Yeah, probably
like you,
no,
Craig.
not necessarily me, but I'm like, they're talking about J6er updates, and she decided to promote or talk about some of the folks, at least 2 or 3 of the folks, and I'm not going to bother reading it all out.
Gotcha.
But needless to say, as you noted, not everybody who was involved in J6 who was at J6 was a saint, but I'm willing to bet that if we were to run the rap sheets of people who were involved in J6 and people who were involved in the BLM riots, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that you're going to see more people in need of incarceration from the BLM riots.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's run the rap sheets of elected Democrat congressmen.
Ooh, ouch, Mike. Now that's not fair, because now you're just being honest. You're
I
not
know.
allowed to be honest in these discussions.
Yeah, I know.
Reality does not matter. All that matters is perception and how it makes you feel.
That's right. That's it. It makes me feel warm and tingly inside.
Does it make you feel warm and tingly? Well, then I definitely feel warm.
The
and
Bourbon
tingly.
does that too, though. So yeah.
Yeah, bourbon doesn't do tingly for me, but it does definitely make me feel warm.
Oh, you're not drinking enough of it.
I'm not drinking enough of it. Yeah, at that point, I'm probably no. If I get to the point where I'm tingly, I'm probably had too much.
There you go. Good for
There
you.
you go. There you go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on into today's news stories. The news is going to start with, well, the anniversary is, you notice, you look on the thing right there, it says J6 or January 6th. So this is the 5th anniversary of January 6th. Many people, as I noted in the thing here, people see it differently. The right sees it one way, the left sees it another. But one of the things that is very, very clear is the fact that they definitely seem to kind of ignore. Everyone acts like, or at least everyone on the left acts like Donald Trump was wholly and fully involved and engaged, and he was the reason why this happened, all because he said this.
Know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
See, that's the part that they always leave out, right? When they talk about making their way over the Capitol, what they actually did, and the BBC actually was exposed for this, the editors actually took the beginning of that part where he said going over to the Capitol and added it to something that was said 52 or 54 minutes later, right? They completely and utterly misrepresented what happened. And you know, and by the way, Donald Trump sued, and Donald Trump won that lawsuit. Anyway, or he didn't sue. I'm sorry, he sued. Someone quit. He's still suing them, and he's going to wind up winning that lawsuit. But wanted to share this with you because the president actually now this year put out a new webpage actually promoting and talking about the truth about what happened on January 6th.
Well, today marks the 5-year anniversary of the J6 demonstration at the U.S. Capitol. And just in time for today's anniversary, the White House is out with a brand new page on whitehouse.gov telling the true story of what happened that day. Real America's Voice congressional correspondent Benny Ray Harmony at the White House this morning with the very latest on this. We spoke probably about an hour ago or so, Benny Ray Harmony, and shortly after our conversation, this page went live.
Yeah, Terrence, just about an hour ago, the White House finally spoke out regarding the fifth anniversary of January 6th. Now, I have it pulled up right here on my phone. On this whitehouse.gov/J6, you can find video evidence of Nancy Pelosi's involvement, unaired HBO footage that was taken by her daughter of her taking full responsibility for this, as well as a complete timeline of events. The Trump administration has broken down from the days before, leading up, the day of, and the days following, what the facts are in this case. And I think this is a perfect thing for the Trump administration to do at this time, especially with this great march happening here in Washington, D.C.
And what a huge release on this anniversary, as the reality is many Americans simply want to know what really happened. They don't want conjecture, they want truth.
No, exactly. And I think there's a lot of questions regarding around that day as to, was there Antifa members, was there left-leaning people in the crowd that were pretending to be MAGA, pretending to be Trump supporters, in order to do this, to make it look bad on the Trump administration. And so I definitely encourage everyone, go check out this whitehouse.gov/J6/ you can find every single thing that you need to know about January 6th on this day, as we remember those that lost their lives, as well as all those J6ers who are trying to get their lives back, Terrence.
Absolutely. Benny Ray Harmony reporting live from the White House. Once again, whitehouse.gov.
So I found it kind of odd, though, that they were like, all those who lost their lives. Only one person lost their life on January 6th as a result of January 6th. That was, that was Ashley Babbitt. She was unarmed. Military veteran who was shot by a Capitol police officer who admittedly says he didn't see that she had a weapon, or if she had a weapon. So I don't know what the whole, anyway, but I mean, here's the thing, Mike. I don't think anybody disagrees that there was violence, and the violence that took place, people who committed violent acts need to be held accountable. But we also agree that overwhelmingly, that was the minority of people who participated in the events of January 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, were there Antifa members there dressed as MAGA supporters? I mean, come on, duh. Craig, it's kind of like, do you remember in the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall? When Eddie got here and he bought all the Mets gear and tried to pretend like he was a Mets fan and not a prince from Africa. Like, everyone could tell. Like, they had gone and put on somebody else's gear and tried to say, yeah, we're here. People were even calling these guys feds. All right. It was so plain that they had instigators planted in and around. It's absolutely ridiculous. You could see that in the videos. People calling them out.
Yeah. But that, once again, though, I still believe, and I'll still contend, there were people who got caught up in it, who saw other people engaged in it and got caught up.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
There were definitely people who got caught up. I don't want to say everybody who was a Trump supporter was innocent in terms of what happened. I'm not going to say that at all. If you engaged in the violence, you ought to be held accountable. But once again, if they put even a fraction of the effort that they put into going after J6ers who did nothing more than walk into a building where the Capitol Police were holding the door open for them, as they did, if they put a fraction of the effort into that, as they did going after the illegal immigrants who've entered our country, right? Who have committed crimes against citizens. If the Biden administration had done any of that, I mean, we wouldn't put it this way. Biden would probably still be president if he had put any of that, at a fraction of that level of interest into going after those folks.
Not unless they had healing hands would he still be president. Craig, listen, I'll agree with you. You get, the mob mentality. And again, I'm going to say that there were instigators in that first group of people, and they started it. Are there some others that crossed over the line with them? Sure, because now all of a sudden it seemed acceptable. But what are we talking about? 1%? What were there? Up to 10,000 people at the rally that day? And you're talking about the first 100 or 200 that might have been violent? Craig, if you and I were there and we were 300th or 400th in line, by the time we got to the door, they were open and the police were holding them, and people were walking through the halls taking pictures and posing.
Yeah, I don't know though. I think both of us had brains enough not to bother going.
Well, listen, you ever try to get a last minute flight to DC? Whew, that's not easy.
No, it most definitely is not. But I was just honestly, I thought it wasn't going to be a good idea, largely because, you know, I figured there would be Antifa there. I just didn't figure they'd be dressed up as Trump supporters. But I figured they would be there and there would be violence that they would in fact instigate.
I think if you think about it, you probably did think about it. You're probably not thinking about it now, but we had talked about there having been them throughout local rallies throughout the country. They're causing trouble. So it only makes sense if they would have done this there as well. I will point out, Craig, though, it's very important that people do their own research.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a conservative, remember the address is whitehouse.gov. If you're a liberal, it's whitehouse.com. Check it out.
Yeah. If you're a liberal, it's whitehouse.com. Check it out.
Check it out. Yep.
Make sure your filters are on.
Yeah. Do it from a work computer. Do it from a work computer. Yeah.
Definitely do it from a work computer, especially if you work in a public school.
There you go.
All right. Talk about bad ideas from Washington, D.C. Well, this isn't necessarily bad ideas from Washington, D.C. These are bad ideas that are coming from from New Jersey politicians who, for some reason, seem to think that we need to have gun rights like the folks over in New Jersey. There's actually a push by two New Jersey senators to try and push a gun licensing bill that would basically have to get gun licenses like the folks over in New Jersey do.
New Jersey has some areas that are very high crime, even in this time when we're seeing violent crime drop across the nation. And they apparently think that gun control there that has failed so spectacularly is a great idea for the rest of the country. So both of their senators have decided to introduce a bill that would require a license in order to purchase a firearm, a permit to purchase at the national level. It would require training, written testing, hands-on instruction, all before you could qualify to get a license that would be required to purchase a firearm. It's not gun registration, but why do you need to register guns when you've registered gun owners?
Wow. All right. That was Mr. Tom Knighton from over at Bearing Arms being interviewed earlier today, talking about the New Jersey senators. Says here, he writes, lawmakers push bills they have known aren't going anywhere, and they do it all the time. Much of it is to keep attention on the issue. It's also handy as a means of making sure special interests keep those campaign coffers overflowing. Sometimes they're just too stupid to know that they're just wasting time with the bill. It's also possible that for there to be some combination of the two for those factors in play. I'm not sure if that's in play, but basically it's right. He's writing here that Senators Cory Booker, Democrat from New Jersey, and Senator Andy Kim, also a Democrat from New Jersey, have introduced sweeping legislation that would fundamentally transform how Americans purchase firearms, requiring federal government approval before any citizen could legally acquire a gun. Now, one of the things that I pointed out in my conversation with him was, quite frankly, and there were the number one thing that Tom pointed out was the fact that this is going to dramatically increase the cost of being able to purchase a gun, because you're going to have to pay for the licensing fee. You're going to have to pay for all of the background fees and all of that other stuff at the federal level before you can purchase a gun. But then also I was explaining the amount of time that is going to add, because as we know from the examples that we have from Alexander from NJ2A, there are people who've waited months, if not years, to get their licenses approved.
Yeah, exactly right. That they've been fighting for all the different organizations in New Jersey doing a great job fighting for them. Yeah, this is just more, like you said, this is hogwash. Look what I'm doing. Yeah, give me campaign money, make donations to my campaign. Look, I'm still relevant. That's all this is. This is nothing. This is a go nowhere. As our president would say, it's a nothing burger. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, the one reason though that why I keep bringing it up, why I thought it was important to talk about is because these bills don't just disappear. They keep introducing them, and a great
Yeah.
example is the ban on quote unquote assault weapon ban. They'll keep introducing it until it goes somewhere, and by introducing it at the national level, they also give the idea to folks to give folks at the state level. Like, as I've mentioned before, I'm really surprised that states like California haven't approved something like this yet.
Yeah, and listen, look at the way they word the title. They're doing it for clickbait because there's a number of people out there that I'm sure that look at it and go, "Oh man, I can get a national reciprocity license. Sure, let's do that." And that's what they're thinking, right?
Right. They're thinking, oh yeah, well, maybe I'll get a national. No, it means that literally you have to get approval from the federal government to purchase a gun. It is, imagine an ultimate expansion of the NFA.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, bad idea. Politicians, anybody who thinks that that's a good idea is an idiot, or they're well funded by the gun lobby.
Well funded idiots.
They're well funded. They're either idiots or they are well funded idiots. There you go. Pretty much. All right. That, by the way, brings me to another story, and this has to do with Hilton Hotels. You may or may not have heard that the Hilton Hotels have decided, yeah, we're not going to rent rooms or take bookings from ICE agents. So, as ICE agents, and by the way, about 2,000 agents, federal agents, have descended upon Minneapolis in light of everything that's going on with the daycare and the feeding program and the COVID era program, and the Medicaid funding, all of that, all of those scams that have been taking place. There's a gang of agents that are up there doing some investigating. It got so bad with Hilton Hotels. The Hilton Hotels, and they're like it's hit them so bad in terms of their PR that Hilton Hotels has actually removed Minneapolis franchise location after it denied the DHS booking. Let me read the story here. It says Hilton Hotels said Tuesday that they will sever ties with the franchise hotel in the Minneapolis area after new video showed a desk clerk there refusing to book rooms for a person claiming to be Department of Homeland Security agent. Hilton's statement came a day after the company that owns the location, Everpeak Hospitality, apologized for canceling a prior reservation for real DHS agents because of their work on immigration enforcement, and said that the ban, that such a ban was not consistent with its policy of, quote, being a welcoming place for all. Quote, the independent hotel owner had assured us that they had fixed this problem and published a message confirming this, Hilton said in a statement Tuesday on social media site X, which was also sent by a spokesman to CNBC. So what it sounds like happened here, Mike, is someone made this decision. It blew up in their face, and they're like, well, okay, we're going to tell everybody, or at least we're going to tell the folks over at corporate, no, that was a mistake. We apologize. We never should have done that. And then they turned around and did it again. So they either kept the policy or they kept the employee, either of which was a bad idea.
Yeah, listen, you lose your Hilton chain status, you might as well be a Motel 4. I mean, you're not going to be much of a hotel anymore. Guarantee though, Craig, I know the person in Minneapolis that's going to get checked for undocumented workers.
Oh yeah. Yes, and I can guarantee you, trust me, in the hospitality industry is one of the number one places where you will find people who are not in the country illegally working. There's agriculture, which I don't know is number one anymore. There's transportation, as we're finding out from all these people doing the commercial drivers who are getting in accidents, and construction. But the hospitality industry, yeah, they're waiters, waitresses, dishwashers, maids, you name it, bellhops, you name it. They are full of illegal immigrants.
Yes, they are. Well, not in Minneapolis anymore, but yeah, you know.
No, hopefully not anymore. They're in Minneapolis, but you never know.
Nope.
All right, that now
Yep,
brings us to our final story. You remember, and I don't remember how long ago it was. It was maybe a year ago, maybe 6 months or so ago. But they were talking about there was an incident where, well, Planet Fitness basically had decided that they were going to. Their policy became, look, you can, if you are trans, you can go into whatever restroom you want to go into, right? Didn't really matter. And as a part of that policy, you had men, and I feel very comfortable saying that they are men, going into women's bathrooms, claiming to be trans, walking around naked, right? Leering at women and walking around naked. And well, it appears that, and by the way, and the person who had their membership canceled was the person who complained about it. Well, as I said back then, I said, I think that there are a significant number, I won't say significant number, but there are enough. There are men who are not trans men, who do not identify as a woman. They're simply perverts, and they want to go into the women's bathroom, and they get off on being naked in the women's bathroom and taking out women in the bathroom. Well, apparently I was a little more right than I even thought. As there was a gentleman, and I'm calling him a gentleman, I use that word very, very loosely, who was actually caught pleasuring himself in the women's bathroom. Anyway, watch this video. Yeah, you can see it.
I have no idea why all of a sudden my video is blowing up on Twitter and Instagram. This happened back in May, but I'm getting a lot of questions and stuff, and I'm just gonna answer and tell y'all how this shit went down. So pretty much I was just at the gym, I go in to use the restroom, and the shower is going, because at Planet Fitness there's showers, and the shower is going. Didn't think much of it. I go out to wash my hands, and the shower stops, and this dude comes out, okay? Literally straight up dude. Tall and just masculine everything. And he's naked and wrapped in a towel. And he goes across into the changing room. And I was kind of just in shock and just didn't really know what to say. Like, I mind my own business, okay? I go to dry my hands, I turn back around, and I see that shadow, and I'm just like, okay, there's no way. Maybe I'm just being delusional.
So I don't know. I don't know if you could see the video real clearly, Mike, but clearly dude was, yeah, doing that, right? And then had the nerve, when he was confronted, Mike, had the nerve to come back and say, well, well, the man appeared to say, I'm transgendered, later claiming he was not, quote, not jerking off. Hudson later wrote on her TikTok page, to sum it up, nothing really ended up happening. I was uncomfortable, but also afraid to get the cops involved at the time. That was the Planet Fitness this was in Concord, California. So there you go. So probably felt like it was not going to be received real well, and they probably would have lost their membership. Although the ownership of Planet Fitness did call that individual and did apologize. So apparently the owner of the Planet Fitness didn't try to admonish her or anything, but anyway, nothing happened to the individual who was basically in the women's bathroom naked, doing this thing, claiming he got to be there because he was trans.
So it's a video, right? And, I'm not gonna defend what may have happened there, but what have we seen this week alone on AI video, you and I, and said, wow, that's crazy. And I'm not going to even theorize what he might have been doing, but listen, if she saw it, she saw it. But I guess I'll just leave it like that,
Well, I guess so. There are people, and once again, if this were just okay, the only evidence, the only thing was the person, but evidently there were multiple people who witnessed. If you read the article, not witnessed the event, but were there. So something happened, and it evidently happened. It actually happened. So it's not like she just made this video up and nobody else recalls anything else from the incident. Once again, I will continue to say that there are, and I firmly believe this, that there are men who are utilizing the trans issue, and they're nothing more than perverts.
And I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
My only point is I'm not convicting anybody on that video and that witness statement. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Well, all I know is, something should have happened. I don't know. I'm not saying the dude should go to jail, like you said, because of between the witness and the video, but perhaps lose their membership.
Yeah. If it really happened, absolutely. If it really happened, they should go to jail.
Yeah. Well,
just show me, prove it,
I hear you, sir. I hear you. All right, folks. Well, hey, that now brings us to one of our favorite parts of the program, and that is our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, one word, and get your Hog holster today. All right, our first few here are brought to you by our friends over at the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can trust. Well, in light of all of the scandals that have been taking place there in Minnesota, Governor Tim Walz has decided that he is going to suspend or end his campaign for re-election, and he's retiring so that he can spend more time in prison.
That makes sense. You give him something to do.
There you go. Anyway, having said that, that's going to save Donald Trump some time because, after all of the work that they did to go after Maduro, and he's starting to look and investigate where's the next place he's going to look to go after when it comes to going after tyrants and dictators. And, well, I'm sure Minnesota was on the list, but there was another place on the list, and it looks like that may be where he's headed next, according to our friends over at the Babylon Bee. Trump leads SEAL team to capture rogue dictator Gavin Newsom.
Could quite possibly happen. Been waiting for it.
Yep. Now, because of what happened, because of what he did when going after Maduro, many people have said that Donald Trump has violated the law. Well, apparently Donald Trump is in a high-speed chase from international cops after breaking international law.
Oh, yeah. All those UN police chasing him. Yeah.
All those UN police. Sanction me with your army.
Sanction me. Oh, that's right. You don't have an army.
Okay. This last video, I saw this and I immediately thought of Mike, and I said, okay, we got to have this video. It cracks me up. But anyway, check it out.
In 2007, the British SAS saw how incredible the Benelli M4 was when the Marines were using it. They issued an emergency request to get some Benelli M4s of their own. After receiving them, they made it their new standard operating procedure for their point man to carry one. And now I'll read you an account of how well it performed for them when they raided a house that was building suicide vests. Quote, one of the breach team members opened fire with a shotgun and shot 3 dead before they could get a shot off. Another 2 terrorists appeared from a building and he neutralized them as well. It was a case of bang, 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 and then bang, bang. It was over in 7 seconds. Several other terrorists emerged from the building, but immediately surrendered and began panicking as 2 of the bodies didn't have heads. They thought they were about to be executed. Like I said, not an expert, but 5 shots fired, 5 dead bodies, and only 3 heads sounds pretty effective to me. It also brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, I got your nose. As much as I would love to read you an account like that from the Marine Corps, not many of them exist. And that is because the higher-ups in the US military at some point decided that shotguns should only be used on doors and not people. So if and when they were used in close quarters combat, nobody really reported on it. However, I've asked an awful lot of Marines and their sentiment is almost always the same. They absolutely love the Benelli M4. And to quote one of them, yeah, Yeah, we were only supposed to use them on doors, but you'd be surprised how many doors over there had beards and were wearing sandals.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Hilarious.
That was
hilarious. I did send you one more picture to post up before we go. So
yes, you did. And this is the official announcement of our upcoming